Hi all! Hipper here. I just gotta turn down my audio so I don't get feedback. So, we have a new patch out, or update, or whatever you want to call it. And before we get into that, we'll just first take a look at my hat here. My new Admiral hat. Very nice. Very nice. And also, I actually have a few hats. So this one is for the days where I lose a lot of battles. So I get demoted, and then we have the more high fire version here, which kind of his trademark. So we're not really gonna use that. Instead, we will don the Admiral version here, lean back, and say, yeah, it's all good. So, having a little beer here. Alright. Let's have a look at the update, shall we? Yeah, you like it? I think it's awesome. I need to have a beer to be seen in public in this hat here. Anyway, this is about the update, and obviously I think it looks pretty good, so why don't we just get started here. For some odd reason I couldn't get the stream software here to actually play my way, so I could just share my screen. That would be a lot easier. I could do it, but I couldn't get to scroll, then, which is kind of useless. And no matter what I tried, screen mirroring, browser in plugin, stuff like that, nah, no luck. So we're just gonna do it the old-fashioned way here. So I have the browser open on the Xbox. It means that it's really hard for me to type a new address, so we're not gonna do that. I kind of want to jump back and forth between some of the ship reviews, but yeah, not gonna happen. We're just gonna make it simple and a quick one here. Evening, 11th track. Good for you to drop in. Hey, Mace. Yeah, you want me to wear this one out on the road next time I cut the grass? I can do that. Nah. Okay, let's get started. So obviously, February update, and as you might know, I was reinstated in the community contributor thing a few days ago. So I actually got the patch notes a day early, so I've had a little bit of time to read them. So there's a lot of stuff to go through here, actually, quite a bit. And I can see someone here saying the ranked is going to make them salty, and yeah, I get that, but let's save that for later, shall we? So this will be a lot easier if you just like comment as we go along in the chat, and tell me what you like and what you don't like about where we are up to here in the chat notes, the patch notes. That's what they're called. So let's get started. Let's just go down. That's obviously the new campaign price, but we'll get into that later. So TLDR, Italian battleships. That's kind of was spoiled. Yeah, I'm back as a CC, by the way. It was only official, I think, yesterday actually, but I am. So that's why I just made it in to get the patch notes early. So yeah, lucky me. So Italian battleships, not unexpected. That was pretty much. Well, I'm not surprised there. And we'll get into the details later. Let's just quickly go through here. And Azur Lane Wave 3, good. I'm very excited about that. We'll also get into the details later. We'll get into the details about everything, so let's not go through it too detailed here. So the German battleship Brandenburg, tier 7, is the new campaign price, and I'm quite excited about it. I don't think I will. Well, I'll buy the campaign out anyway, but I don't think I'm very interested in the ship, to be honest. I still think Odin looks better on paper, but I mean, of course, those things can always change. But a battleship with a sonar, in my world, just seems better than one without. But and also, yeah, Matt, I kind of agree. I don't really care that much for battleships anymore. They've kind of lost their shine a little bit, and something needs to happen, honestly, with battleships. You really don't like the new update on this game, okay? Well, you gotta explain a little bit more, Wolf Daily Gaming, what you like and what you don't like. So anyway, let's continue. Cross-platform divisions and friend list. How amazing is that? I know for one that I'll be using that a lot, because it means I can play with some of the people I haven't been able to play with before, if they want to play with me. That is, gotta keep that in mind. But I could, in theory, team up with Sarkun and of course MetaJerk as well, when this new feature is implemented, which hopefully happens on Monday. So it'll give a lot more dynamics in the CC divisions that you see online, and that's, I think, is a good idea. It's getting a little stale. It's always the same 3 people in the division, and I'm guilty of that as well, because I mean, you can't really rub shoulders with the PlayStation people if you're on Xbox, and vice versa. So the next one is very interesting. Dual ranked, 1 versus 1. I'm very excited about it, but I think many people might actually hate it, but we'll see. The first aircraft carrier rolls into the bureau. Yeah, interesting enough. If you're into carriers, I'm not. Permanent cost decrease for some tier 6 premium ship. That's also, yeah, I mean, it's nice to get cheaper ships, but I think most people who wanted the ships already bought them, really. So especially the ones that get discounted. So don't know how much that's going to do. And then some Lunar New Year stuff that we'll get into a bit later as well. So let's look at the Italian battleships in early access. So early access means it'll be the usual stuff where you buy containers and you open them and then you get stuff, and then maybe you get a battleship. And I'm kind of alright with that approach. The only problem I have with this approach is that the tier 7 is never available, and that's the only one I really want. I don't really care about the other ones, so I always have to wait till the next update to get the tier 7. I had to do that with Albemarle, for example, really annoying, and it's just, I don't know why they do that. There's no point, really. The 7 is already there, they're just dragging it out for another month. But who am I to say anything about that? So Dante Alighieri, Cavour, Andrea Doria, Caracciolo, something along those lines, and Vittorio Veneto. So it'll be good with some new battleships, absolutely. And they have a little special thing with them here. If we go down here, you'll see that the secondaries are actually semi-armor piercing shells. The first semi-armor piercing shells we are having in the game. So that's pretty awesome. I'm excited to see how that works out. I'm quite disappointed that it's only the secondaries, because really, I saw, yeah, Peak. I saw that it doesn't matter what ship you are in, you can be matched against anything, basically. So if you're in a cruiser, you can be matched against a destroyer. If you're in a destroyer, you can be matched against a battleship. So it's going to create some very interesting battles, and I for sure, for one, will be playing cruisers, because they have a counter for everything. If you're a battleship and you're teamed up against a destroyer, you're going to have a pretty hard time. So I think this 1 versus 1 ranked here is going to be pretty much cruiser versus cruiser, is my thought on this. And then of course the question is, which cruiser do you pick? And anyway, we'll get into that later. Semi-armor piercing shells, I'm disappointed it's not the actual primary guns. So I mean, secondaries, yeah, okay, I guess interesting enough to see how it works, and I guess it's because Wargaming wants to test it out. But really, secondaries, Well, but anyway, we'll see how it goes. And then, of course, we have a new cruiser, Gorizia, and the Roma will be available for Global XP as well. So if you don't have that, then now is your time to grab it. DD on DD, yeah. This is the one that I'm excited about. Well, most excited about. I'm excited about it all, but this is the one that I really... yeah, I think so. I think that Agile Cruisers are going to show their worth here. Because if you're up against another cruiser, well, it's the one that takes the less damage that's going to win. And we all know which ones that is. Anyway, Azur Lane Wave 3. Very excited about that. Let's have a look. I haven't really read this one in details actually, so I'm going through it about the same as you guys are. So 6 commanders. So 1 US, 1, 2, 3 Japanese, 1 USSR, and 1 Italian, it looks like. And then a few skins that we always get that nobody really cares about. And we do get some actual ships that are different, like the Montpellier. I don't know if you say it like that, or you say it with the American accent, because it is an American ship, so Montpellier, I don't know. Anyway, I call it Montpellier. It is a Cleveland, but as it says here, it turns quicker, and that's always interesting, especially for the Agile Cruiser guy, isn't it? It turns quicker, but it fires slower. I don't know. That could be interesting. Because Cleveland already turns really, really quickly. So that would be interesting. No Italian BB commander. I'm assuming this Sardinia guy here. I'm assuming he's a battleship commander, but I have no idea. Oh, Littorio, yes. Well, then he is a battleship commander. So that means if you want a new Italian battleship commander, you're gonna have to, pay a little doubloons. Because I think you can get one of the commanders for free by doing some kind of... maybe it's detailed here. Yeah, the Aurora, the Russian commander, is included in a free bundle. And a special mission that offers the commander herself as a reward. So I read that as, if you do this free bundle, you will get that commander. But of course, he's Russian, she's not Italian. But of course, I cannot promise anything. This is what I read out of this patch note here. That sometimes is a little bit ambiguous in what it's saying and what it's explaining, really. So yeah, I'm hoping it's an accurate C-build Italian battleship commander. I hope so, because that's what we need. And for me personally, the ones I'm interested in is, well, the one I'm interested in, because really not that many, which is a shame. There's 6 of them, but it's really only the Azuma commander that I have any interest in. Perhaps the US commander as well. But the Shokaku, I'm imagining, is for CVs, so I have no interest in that. Yukikaze is for DDs, so I have no interest in that. The Soviet one, I don't know what that is. And the Italian is a battleship commander. I don't know. Of course, it all depends on what the base perks are, and we don't know that. It's not in the patch notes yet, and I don't know it either. No one's told me anything. So are the base perks available somewhere? Because I haven't seen them. I just saw Trank's comment there. Anyway, boom. We will move on. I'll just have a sip of beer while I'm talking. So, looks like there's an upcoming blog post. Perhaps that was the other post I saw I didn't read. So, Soviet cruiser commander. Okay, well, interesting. Okay, let's move on to the campaign. And let's skip that a little bit quickly, because we all know this already anyway. Every campaign is pretty much the same. I mean, you play your ships and you do your weekly things, and then you slowly get to the end. And you get a lot of stuff as well. And that's why I'm gonna buy the campaign out, because I want this stuff immediately. Cannot wait. Alright. Cross-platform divisions and friend lists. This is something. Thank you, John. Much appreciated. Thank you. Good man there, Mr. John. Like I said, this is something that's been a long time coming, and a lot of people have asked for a long time, including the CZs. I know that for a fact. And that is, of course, the ability to play with your friends if they have a PlayStation or an Xbox, doesn't matter. And friend lists as well. So finally, that's here. And I'm assuming this is including voice chat. It doesn't actually say that, but that's my assumption there. And it's going to be fun for all of us. Not at least like the CCs, who will now be able to mix and match it a little bit more and do a little bit of more interesting, divisioning up. Because nobody wants to buy a new console and throw out their whole account just to be able to play with their friends. Well, I know I don't. And like I said before, there's a few people around that will be interesting to team up with and see how we go. And then, so we move on to ranked, because it seems to be the one everyone's talking about. And I get it. 1 versus 1 ranked. It's going to be interesting. That's for sure. I'm very excited about it, because it's a good way to see, actually for me to see how my agile cruisers do in 1 versus 1s, because I haven't really had that before. I have had a few 1 versus 1 battles, and I believe I've won every single one of them. But that's only like a handful where the matchmaker just, makes a mistake, I guess, or there's just not enough players. And it happened mostly in the very early days of the game, like in early 2020 and stuff like that. It's been a long time since it's happened. I've had a few 2 versus 2 and 3 versus 3, and anyway, it'll be interesting. I think it'll be interesting. At least it's different, and it looks like we'll start at tier 3 and then end at tier 7. So that's also interesting. There's no legendary. That's a shame though. But again, it doesn't look like we're gonna get the Colbert this update, because it's not in here at all. It could be a surprise, but again, I have no idea. No one's told me anything. I was kind of hoping it would be available, this update, in the bureau or as like green XP or anything like that, but not one mention. And like I said, I haven't heard anything to clear that up. Yeah, Trank, I agree. I think, cruisers are going to dominate, and 1 versus 1 cruisers, like I said before, the one that dodges the best is the one that's going to win. Because you're not going to be able to get into torp distance or anything like that with the with those. At least if you're playing like someone who knows what they're doing in cruiser, because by the time you get into torp distance, you've been burnt down anyway. So what ships would you pick for the 1 versus 1 ranked? I'm just curious. I kind of want to know, because I have a list in my head that I know I want to have. And they all have radar, because imagine getting a 1 versus 1 versus a destroyer, obviously, and without a radar, how are you ever going to be able to find that guy if he stays out of your radius? Yes, I think radar is a must. And even then, if they stay more than 9 kilometers away, you're still not gonna be able to spot them at pretty much any point in the game. So I think that'll be interesting. So I hope the maps kind of take that into account. I suppose they won't, but so what would you guys pick? Like I can give you my list that just off the top of my head is obviously Ochakov, obviously on that list. Wichita as well. like total no-brainer. Edinburgh as well, and Baltimore as well, and also Albemarle. I think actually Albemarle might shine in 1 versus 1 cruisers here because it has very, very nasty HE, so you don't have to get those citadels on other ships to get rid of them quickly. And I've had a few one-on-ones versus Baltimores in my Albemarle, and I'm able to burn down the Baltimore before he's able to get to me. But of course it does have quite a slow reload. But I'll probably go with either Albemarle, well, one of the ones, Albemarle, Wichita, Ochakov, or Edinburgh. Stalingrad, that's a legendary, that's not tier 7. And of course, yeah, every ranked is going to be a different tier, so I'm talking tier 7 here. 6, I don't know. Well, actually, I do know. Obviously, it's Weimar. It doesn't have radar, though. So that might be a problem. So Indianapolis, perhaps. Probably not a bad choice there. Tier 5. Again, I'm not really sure there. Probably not Exeter is my favorite tier 5, but I'm probably going to go Budioni because it has that radar. Again, that's my. I think that's my pick. Graf Spee at tier 5, 11th track, yeah. Prince Eugen tier 7, yeah. German cruisers, yeah. I get it, and I'm just not sure that 5.6 kilometer sonar is going to be enough to get rid of a good destroyer player, unless you can catch them in like some sort of ambush or anything like that. Like I think you're gonna need the Ochakov's like very long range radar. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I guess we'll see how it goes. De Grasse, also a good one, yeah. And the lower tiers, like the lower down we get in the tiers, like Trank's saying here, the more difficult it gets because there's no radar at tier 4 or tier 3. Of course, the destroyers aren't as powerful there, except for the Kamikaze and the G101, and I mean, like tier 3 and tier 4 are actually probably going to be the hardest one-on-ones to do because you have so little utility to use, and then that will be interesting. Again, tier 4 I would probably do Kamikaze actually. Yeah, good question. I'm not sure. Very interesting actually, but it's like this is so different from what we're used to because like it's one ship versus one ship, and it's just mano a mano. I think it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm quite excited about it, especially the tier 7 one. I don't know if I'm gonna do every single one of them, especially the tier 3 and 4. I'm not that interested in that, but I'll give it a shot. And obviously you are unable to division in this, so it's all gonna be solo streaming from all the CCs trying to get ahead in their one-on-ones. I foresee a lot of frustration and yeah, we'll see what happens. Eagle at tier 5, yeah. I think, yeah, tier 3, 4, 5, probably destroyers may be the best pick. I'm still gonna go cruisers though, but who knows? I guess we'll have to see once we get started. Did Peak say what he was gonna do? No, he didn't. Alright, well. So expect some more detailed information later on. That's good. Okay, yada yada. Okay, we'll move on to the double bureau here. So Kaga, tier 7 Japanese aircraft carrier, available in the bureau. Gonna be interesting if you are into carriers, which I am not. like I've said a few times. But of course, Minotaur as well. So if you didn't get it in the campaign last, then you have another chance here. This hat here is really warm. Really hot actually. I might actually change it to a less warm hat here. Really warm. Yeah, much better. Someone told me what this hat was called, but I forget. It was a really weird name when I first wore it. I forget what they said it was. Oh, yeah, I'm just the cook. Nah, moving on. So I'm not obviously gonna do any of these. I already have Minotaur. I have no interest at all in Kaga. So for me, or however you say that, Kaga, who knows? So I'm not really going to get into that. And there's some other stuff to start on anyway. So why bother? Turning red, yeah. Well, it's that hat was pretty warm. I'll tell you that. Your friend's granduncle served on Kaga. Oh, okay. That's not bad. CC Turney. What's that? Yeah, Steven Seagal. Exactly. I don't think I look like him though. I think that's maybe pushing it a little bit too far. So it looks like the Kaga has bigger squadrons of planes, but again, I don't know any details. So I guess we'll wait and see if they divulge a little bit more. So Lunar New Year celebrations, just like last year. I got my nice Yamato skin back there that I still use a lot. I actually think it's one of the prettiest skins we have got, or camouflages if you want. But it looks like we're gonna get some new ones this time here. Yeah, so Year of the Tiger, yada yada yada. We are introducing 2 themed skins for Loyang and Huang He. And yes, Huang He, a new Pan-Asian cruiser, tier 5. I am very interested in that ship. And before this stream, or actually earlier today, I looked it up in Little White Mouse's reviews. Thanks for the like, David. I looked it up in Little White Mouse's reviews, and she actually gave it a rating of garbage. Yep, garbage. It doesn't happen very often in her reviews, I'll tell you that. And it was mostly down to the damage output and the fact that it's super squishy. But she did say it was very, very agile. It's like, at least on PC, has fast acceleration. It has like lots of consumables and very small turning radius, fast rudder, and quite high speed. So it could be interesting. I'm quite excited about that ship. So I guess we'll see how it goes. The Kaga will dominate, probably. I have no idea. I mean, who's to say what it's gonna be like? It could be exactly the, like, well, it's not gonna be the exact PC version, but it could be nerfed or buffed in so many ways that who knows what it'll end up being. But cooks save lives. But then again, Huang He, I don't know if you say it like that, but that's how I say it. I'm excited about that, and it's a premium ship, so it's just going to be for sale, so you can just pick it up. Of course, we don't have... Do we have a Pan-Asian cruiser commander? I don't think we do. I can't remember anymore. I'll have a look after. If we do, then of course I would like to put an agile build on it. If we don't, then I don't think we do. I can't remember. Then I'll probably save it for later. Pan-Asian cruisers, all flints. Well, maybe. On PC they have, and I think actually they also said here in the patch notes, is going to have the torpedo reload boost, which is interesting, but I think you have to give up the sonar for it, which I'm not going to do. So we'll see. I can't. Again, I don't know anything. I only know what's in the patch notes. And what else is there here? The 2 ships will be available, yada yada yada. And Loyang arriving for global XP. Okay. Only until March 7th. So if you want that ship, you gotta get it before March 7th. This looks like. Again, I'm just reading what it says. Let's look at the details here. So it's obviously a British cruiser and sold to China, I believe. I can't remember. So that's why it has the improved acceleration and all the other nice stuff. I don't know if it has the British sonar, but I guess we'll find out in a few days. You can't sell Yamato. It's a bureau ship, so once you have it, you are stuck with it. Stuck with it, whatever you want to call it. Because I've tried to sell Alaska a few times and I can't. And yeah, very upsetting for me. So I'm just reading the comments here. It does look like Exeter a little bit, and that's probably why I might like it. It looks like a much more agile Exeter, just without smoke. I don't believe it has smoke. So in that way, it could be quite fun. But again, the problem is the commander. I don't think we have Pan-Asian cruiser commanders. I'll have to go and check, but again, I'm not sure. Oh, it does have smoke. Okay, I take it back. Smoke generator, torpedo reload booster, a couple other consumables to choose from. 152mm guns, so a light cruiser, but that's okay. Torpedoes, torpedo reload booster, defensive AA. So yeah, there's a bit of, like, at least a lot of tinkering you can do with that ship to find your perfect way of playing it. So for me, that's a good thing. I'm not a big fan of ships that pretty much only work with one setup or layout or whatever you want to call it. At least here, there's a bit of diversity and you can do a few different things. So yeah, that'd be good, I think. All right, next one, Gorizia, Italian tier 6 cruiser. It's pretty much a Sarah, and I think like the short, like the TLDR is that it's a Sarah without torpedoes, but you get a sonar. I think that's about it. There are a few minor differences other than that, but yeah. I also read Little White Mouse review on this ship here, and she's more positive about this one. Although it's still a challenging ship. I think the skill ceiling and the skill floor was both high or extreme or something on this ship here, so not an easy ship. None of the Italian cruisers are that easy to play, but again, it's always nice to have a new cruiser. And tier 6 Italian cruiser with a sound wave on it, yeah. Because this one has sonar, and that's why I don't really play Sarah and Amalfi, because I don't know what I'm supposed to do in a cruiser without sonar. Like, what is my job? What is it that I have to do? Am I just supposed to sail around and shoot and torp? And I mean, any ship could do that. There's no possibility to hunt destroyers, so that's why I don't really play them. Not that they're bad ships, but like I said, I don't know what to do with them. Alright, so there's some special bonuses for winning stuff, and yeah, that actually sounds a bit boring. Upcoming tiers. Oh, that's all the. Yeah, let's skip that. These are the new discounted premium ships. So Atlanta, Boise, Kit, Ashitaka, Scharnhorst, the Terrible, and Charlemagne. So that's interesting. And then there's some kind of weird contest, but I'm not going to get into the details of that because it's going to drag this video out. Here is, other than Azur Lane Baltimore, no, Azur Lane Baltimore, I play too many agile cruises. Azur Lane Wave 3, then this part here is what I am mostly excited about. And it is the new maps. We're getting a whole 3 of them. That's almost unheard of. I can't remember the last time we got that. So that's obviously a good thing. I'm not gonna complain at all about that. It has been a while since we had some new maps, so I'm quite happy that this is a thing. So let's just go through them, because first one, Islands of Ice. And in general, for these 3 new maps, it looks like they're going to be very much like in the same flavor of Trap and Hotspot, and perhaps also what is it called? Anyway, like maps where with lots of islands and lots of little narrow channels and places where destroyers and cruisers can hide, and that's really needed. And I think that makes the battles a lot more fun. And that's also why I don't like the Atlantic and stuff like that, where there's just like all cruisers can do is only go to pretty much one spot at each spawn, and then they can just sit there and wait until something happens. Islands of Ice, not the best of the 3. It looks decent, but the other 2 are the ones that I'm more interested in. So let's move on to them. Oh, I should say that on Islands of Ice, apparently there's a new skybox, like with clouds and stuff. Only this one has like Aurora Borealis and stuff, and apparently it's very beautiful. I guess we'll find out. So that's one thing to be excited about. And I don't know if they're going to make these maps pop up more often, just like they did with some of the other maps. I'm sure everyone remembers that. When they came out, I think last time we got a bunch of maps, they were in the rotation, like at a higher rate than the other maps, and I got really tired of especially one of them. I can't remember it right now, but oh man, I got that all the time, and I remember complaining to Dirty Mike about it, and we were both saying, yeah, that map is coming way too often. Anyway, oh, they only show one map. I thought they were gonna show all 3 maps. Anyway, okay, fine. Then I will tell you the other maps, because I looked them up on PC before, and I wanted to show you here, but because OBS is being annoying and won't let me actually show my PC browser, then I'll have to do it this way, and I can't show you. So Shatter is also in the same line of Islands of Ice, like lots of islands in the middle, and that one actually looks a lot like Trap, like a bigger map, and but the same kind of playstyle it looks like. I mean, it's hard to know without actually playing the map. So that's my second best favorite here, if you can say that, or if you can say that. Hey Paul, well I have an even better hat. I just took it off because I was getting really hot in it, but I can put it on now just for you. See, my Admiral hat finally came, and Jellicoe is gonna be really really jealous with this. The last map is the best in my opinion, one called Warrior's Path. It looks like the perfect mix of, tight channels, islands, big islands, small islands, and also lots of open water for battleships. But what I like about that map, and the other 2 as well, it looks like battleships will have to push in to stay relevant. Yeah. And I think that is a fantastic thing, because that's really something that we need. Of course, capture the base. No, it'll be just like Atlantic. Everyone will just sit there and look, and then bombard the first ship that shows up. Terribly boring. So yeah, I wish we could turn capture the base off for a little while. But domination, absolutely awesome on this map here, and the epicenter as well. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, because it will force, like, obviously everyone in there to do something, and especially the battleships. they will have to push in, because otherwise they're not going to do anything. Oh, you don't want this hat on? Okay. So yeah, 3 new maps, and they all look really good, I think. But the best one is Warrior's Path, from what I can tell. I did some research on it, and I looked at the map, and at least from my perspective as a agile cruiser player, that looks like my kind of map. Then Shatter also looks really good, only just behind Warrior's Path. And then Islands of Ice looks okay, decent. You can actually see it here in the map here, and I mean the domination on this would be very interesting with, like, I'm assuming 1 cap here, and then 1 cap here, and another cap over here. So you have 3 separate areas, and I like that, where, you know, 6 ships battle it out for 1 area, and then the winners move on to the next area. So that's the way I like to play. I don't like the maps where everyone pretty much spawns on top of each other and then has to, like for example Greece, where everybody like kind of emanates out from 1 point and has to go out on flanks or whatever they want to do. I don't like that. I want to spawn with a bit of distance, and these maps look like that's what's going to happen. So very interested. Probably the best part of the update, actually, even better than Azur Lane, I think. So quite excited. And also finally we get a winter map up at the higher tiers. Like they have one down at tier 4 and 3 or whatever it is, Polar I think it's called, but I don't really play down there, so I never get to play it, and I like the winter maps. So this is a welcome addition for me, absolutely. Yeah, I agree, they should remove Capture the Base. I think in the beginning when this game came out that was a good thing and it made sense, kind of people learning the ropes. These days it just promotes boring gameplay, it really does, and I think we're better off without it. Yeah, my opinion. Switch Capture the Base for Epicenter. Yes, that would be nice. The time in my country right now, it's almost 10 in the evening, so that's also why I won't drag this out much longer. Anyway, let's move on. So we have a few balance changes, and that's always interesting. Always interesting. Hey Lance, you see my hat? Are you happy? So the first one is the Worcester, and this is also a change, a welcome change that's been coming for a long time. Why I don't play lower tiers? I just think it's too slow, to be honest, down there. So I just don't feel at ease at anything like tier 4 and lower, really. I can just manage tier 4, but like 1, 2, and 3, and yeah, I don't think anyone really plays those tiers, except for 3 when they take out that premium German battleship and you know, whack some seals. Anyway, Worcester has got a massive buff. I haven't seen anything like this before, but wow, that ship must have done very poorly on the spreadsheet. Let's put it like that, because this is just nuts. Like, main battery reload decreased from 6 seconds to 4.6. Yikes! Like that's almost Minotaur territory, almost, or called Bear territory. Fire setting chances increased 2%. That's quite a lot, especially when the reload has been decreased as well. Yikes, that's pretty nuts, actually. HE penetration, or HE penetration, increased as well from 25 to 30 millimeter. Again, okay, that's impressive. And the turning circle has been decreased by 10 meters. That's not really going to make any difference in anyone's lives, because I don't think anyone plays this ship with an agile build. Radar reload time decreased by a lot. That's like 60 seconds there. That's a minute. That's also incredible. And the shell grouping has been increased as well by 2.5%. I don't know how much you're gonna feel that, but a buff is a buff. So this is going to be very interesting to see how this ship performs. I might actually research it now, because I haven't bothered with Booster at all. When I saw the stats on the ship, I was like, yeah, there's no need to research that ship at all, because it doesn't look very good. And from what I've heard from other people, it's not very good. So I'm happy with my choice. And yeah, have they overdone it on Worcester? I don't know. I guess we'll find out, but I think everything is acceptable except for the reload. That is perhaps a little bit over the top. I mean, we're gonna have 3 legendary cruisers now with Colbert soon, with a reload of less than 5 seconds, and 2 of them less than 3 seconds actually, I believe. And of course you can spec into your reload even more to get it down to, I think Chile got his Minotaur down to like 1.7, 1.8 seconds or something like that. This is incredible. So yeah, battleships are in for a tough time, but like I said before, that is deserved. I mean, legendary battleships have been sitting there pushing around tier 7 cruisers who got up tiered into legendary battles for more than a year now, and it's just not fair. So yeah, battleships, your time is up now. It's time for the cruisers to fight back, and that's exactly what happened when this game first came out. All of 2019 was all about destroyers and battleships, and then suddenly some pretty good cruisers arrived in the game. Like back then they were pretty good, like Charles Martel, really shook up the game. Hipper as well, obviously. And then we got into Wichita and the likes, and then yeah, we got the whole cruisers are overpowered and yada 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 thing. And well, they're not. They're really not. And Kutuzov, that's the one I was thinking about. That's the one who started the whole fire setting thing. Also Chapayev to a certain degree. Back when Chapayev came out, it had 30mm bow. I think that's been changed since then. But yeah, that was not a nice time for battleships. And I think that in the coming months, legendary tier is going to be rough on battleships. So not from torpedo attacks, of course, because there's going to be a lot of cruisers and they almost all have radar. So I think destroyers going to be relegated to capping, basically. But instead of torpedo attacks, battleship players are going to have to contend with a lot of HE shells, or AP shells in Minotaur's case. So it will be interesting how much complaining and whining we'll see on Facebook in the next few months. But like I said, I think it's fair enough. Like honestly, battleships have had it very easy at legendary tier for more than a year. So we'll see what happens. Let me just look through the comments here if there's anything interesting here. Yeah, we already touched on 1 versus 1 ranked Ghost, so I won't do that again. Yeah, I might pop an agile build on Worcester if I ever decide to research it. I don't know. I don't know. When I get Colbert, whenever that happens, I don't think I'll play anything else until we get some other interesting cruisers. Yeah, turret on the Minotaur with an 8-minute smoke if you have him all the way, upgraded all the way. Yep, that is a fun build. Also a very nasty build, but all right, let's move on. So penetration 29mm of armor. Yeah, interesting. And then it looks like Alaska got hit with the nerf hammer here, quite heavily as well. And yeah, that's probably something I agree with. And because I played, what was it called? I played Arena with Peak and Aaron in triple Alaskas, and yeah, that's I'm not the best Alaska player out there, but those two, they were just steaming through pretty much every team in those ships there, and it just shows that like good players in a ship can totally well, dominate basically. And I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about Peak and Aaron, because I'm not a very good Alaska player. To me, it's just a battleship. Battleship with radar, basically. Yeah, Kevin, yeah, Worcester was decent. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I heard a lot of like bad feedback on that ship, so I don't know what to think. I haven't played it myself. I haven't even rented it, because honestly, I have no interest in it. I think Minotaur is better in every way, and of course Colbert, but it looks like Colbert will go away on Monday, and then it's unknown when we'll come back, and of course that's terrible for me and everyone else who likes an agile cruiser at legendary tier. We'll see when it comes back, who knows. Alright, let's move on to tier 6 York, and yeah, this is also a buff that should have happened a long time ago. Much faster reload, awesome, and AP shield increased as well to 6,000. That's actually a lot. That's almost the same as Hipper has at tier 6. So I think they got this idea from the Cross of Dawn, the premium York that we had a month or two ago. I think it was before Christmas, and they probably saw that, oh, okay, this ship is performing better now, more in line with other ships, and then they thought, okay, let's do it to York. So looks like that's what they did. You played the Worcester and actually enjoyed it. I don't know. It would take some persuading to get me into that ship, because it's just a bloated Cleveland, and if you watch this channel, you know my opinion on the Cleveland. Yeah, that's about it. Anyway, moving on. We're not gonna get into Cleveland bashing here, because then we'll be here all day. Stalingrad. Yeah, that's another thing I also noticed in the arena battles, that a good player in Stalingrad can also really dominate. Decreased AP damage, 8.5 to 8,000. That's also welcome. And then the fire duration from 30 to 45 seconds. I think that's going to dissuade a lot of people from playing this ship, to be honest. Because who wants to be on fire for nearly a minute? It's already bad enough in a cruiser to be on fire. So I don't know if the goal is to have less people playing the ship, or the ship doing worse. I'm assuming the last, like kind of dial it down a bit, but I'm not sure. Increasing the fire duration is the way to do it. That just tends to annoy people, like irritate you when you play the ship. But I guess, who knows? It could work. I guess. Then there's a few little small things here with aircraft carriers, like by 1 second and stuff like that. Seems like pretty much, well, of no importance, at least for me. So Cross of Dawn is now pointless. Yeah, it is. That's the reason I didn't buy that ship back in the day, because so many people asked me, so, why don't you take out Cross of Dawn? And I had a look at the ship and I noticed it doesn't have a sonar. So what is it supposed to do? So that's why I didn't buy it. And now York gets pretty much the same buffs, and yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think I have Cross of Dawn. Maybe, perhaps I do actually have it. Maybe I got it in a crate. I'm not sure now, and perhaps I sold it. Who knows? I sell a lot of ships. Anyway, I'm not gonna play it, and especially now that York is here, I'm definitely not gonna play it, since it got pretty much the same buffs now, and it has a sonar. Yeah. What's the point? Then we get it to bug fixes, and yeah, exhaust smoke generator, some nothing really that interesting there. And mobile version improvements, yeah, we're gonna skip that. Okay, that's it. That's it. Okay, let's just go back and look at the TLDR. Because I just want to go through the main points again. Whoops. This is pretty difficult under control. Yeah, to get Augustin, yeah, buy Cross of Dawn, yeah. Somehow I got Augustin, so I guess I must have Cross of Dawn actually. Well, I'm pretty sure Cross of Dawn doesn't have sonar. Now you make me doubt myself, Dr. Ghost. But I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's Kaga time. Well, yeah, if you're into those things, then yeah, I guess it is. So let's just go through the main headlines here. The Italian battleships arriving with semi-armor piercing secondary guns, which will be disappointing for some, including me, because like secondaries, like how are you even gonna notice that? You're not gonna notice it. I want the main battery, semi-armor piercing shells. I know it's just gonna be a lot like the Edinburgh, but I want it because it's on PC, so I want it. Anyway, Azur Lane Wave 3, very excited about that one. 6 commanders. See if I can remember here. There's 1 American, 3 Japanese, 1 Russian, and 1 Italian. And looks like the Italian is a battleship commander. So hopefully we can do some, dispersion builds on the Italian battleships if we're lucky. The campaign price is the German Tier 7 battleship Brandenburg, and again, don't know what to think about that. I think still Odin will be superior, but anyway, we'll see how it goes. And then of course the 3 new maps that we went through before. Awesome. You should advise 1 cruiser per tier to run on 1 versus 1. We need to show up agile cruisers. Yep. Well, I sure intend to. So it should be a very interesting ranked season. So please join in, and if you face me, let me win, of course. Of course. No, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. Anyway, like we just said here, cross-platform divisions, friends list, also a big plus, especially if you want to play with someone who's not on your console, which we all do, I guess. And then, of course, like we just said, dual ranked. It'll be very interesting, I think. 1 versus 1, which is I am very excited about that. We'll see how agile cruisers do in that. Agile radar cruisers, that is. The first aircraft carrier rolls into the bureau alongside the Minotaur. We covered that as well. Permanent cost decrease for some Tier 6 premium ships that everyone already has. Also very interesting. Permanent Lunar New Year celebrations that brings a little bit of new camo and stuff. And then of course there's a two new premium cruisers, the Gorizia, the Italian Tier 6, and then the Huanghe, the Pan-Asian Tier 5. I'm also quite interested in those ships, especially the Italian because it has sonar. And I kind of want to see how agile the Tier 5 is, the Pan-Asian cruiser. If it's more agile than Exeter, it might be my favorite cruiser at that tier. But I guess we'll see how it goes. Because it has a lot of utility, that Pan-Asian cruiser. So I like that, just like the Exeter. So it could be a very good ship for me. But then I worry a bit about, like I said, Little White Mouse's review giving it a garbage rating, because usually her and we agree on pretty much everything. So I might have to reevaluate that when I get access to the ship. I don't know when we'll get it. I'm hoping in the first day, but usually they drip feed those premium ships over the update. So we'll see when we'll get it. Brandon may be trash. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say trash, but I don't know what is special about it. It's a Bismarck with smaller guns, and an Odin with no sonar. But again, without playing the ship, it's impossible to say. And even if you play it on PC, yeah. All right, Doug. Good of you to drop in. I'll see you next time. So I think that's about everything. I don't want to drag this out anymore. We've been doing it for an hour now, and I think that's enough to cover everything. So I hope that at least this gave you a little bit of an insight into the patch notes with me here. I think it's a better way of doing it than doing a video, because this way you can ask questions at the same time, and if I can answer them, I will answer them. If not, then I'll take them back to the mighty Prince Blip, and he may be able to answer them. Not always though. He's always doing his best though. But sometimes, like, either it's just like a trade secret, or there's other reasons why we should know some things, you know. So I think that's about it. And also, don't forget the code you can redeem here for camouflages. And you also get a common crate. Yay! No, I shouldn't complain, because it's always nice with a code and some free stuff. But I would like a little bit more, like a commander crate as well. Maybe next time, more gaming. So, unless any of you guys have any questions, then let me know. Otherwise, I think I'll cut the stream here, because it's getting a little late down here on the southern hemisphere. So yeah, I agree with Dr. Ghost. I was reading in the comments that they're testing the SAP, or the semi-armor piercing shells, by putting them on the secondaries. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what's going on. I just don't really understand how they can test anything on the secondaries. Like, anyway, yeah, let's not get into that. Instead of adding new legendary ships, why don't they add new tiers? Yeah, good question. Good question. I won't be surprised if one day legendary tier will just be tier 8. You know, I'm sure it'll happen at some point. And there will be Weimars every tier 6 game, I imagine. Yeah, I am also certain of that. And I think there will be no destroyers in tier 6 and tier 5 battles, because obviously everyone's going to choose a radar cruiser. And if you're in a destroyer, one-on-one versus a radar cruiser, well, you're going to lose. Unless you get an insanely lucky torpedo hit, which is unlikely. But it's going to be fun. 1 versus 1 ranked, definitely going to be fun. So okay, see you, Ghost. Yeah, I will stop as well. I keep rambling on, but that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this little walkthrough here of the patch notes, and then hopefully on Monday we'll get to see how it actually turns out. And I'll probably do a stream then after the new patch goes live, and I'll walk you through what the new stuff is, and we can have a look at the Brandenburg together, because I think I'll have access to it immediately now that I'm a community contributor again. Thanks for the like, John. And there's probably a bunch of other stuff we can look at. I don't think the Azur Lane commanders will be ready. I think they're coming on February 7th or something like that. So unfortunately, we can't look at them on Monday, but we'll look at everything else we can look at, and perhaps play a few battles, see if we can get some of the new maps or anything like that. That would be interesting. So now I will cut the stream. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys, and I'll see you